Peace, warriors. Peace, family. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye coming to you once again. You know, on time every Saturday. I love to say that because life is about getting a rhythm, and that's why I love to say that I'm coming here in your presence on time every Saturday with a dynamic topic that is conducive to regaining our balance because a lot of things has happened to us by others, and it's so deep right now we're actually starting to blame one another, and so we have to turn this thing around. And so I'm about promoting the turnaround. I'm about promoting to slow inertia down and reverse it. So who's going to step up to the plate and do that? I know that I am. And in order to do that, you have to be very honorable and representing and honoring and representing those before you and be a better version of them. So, family, I thank you for blessing me with the opportunity to enter into your home, your real home, which is your mind, to share with you what I have been blessed with. Because all of us know something that the other doesn't know. So there's no need to hate. Let's come together and inspire, motivate, and encourage one another to take it to another level. And that's what we're here for, to fulfill our purpose and to create a righteous legacy that will last for generations to come. So that's what I'm about, family. And I pray that you will become more of that too. A lot of us are, but we need more. So the more is better. So, family, today it's an honor and a privilege to share with you this dynamic topic on humility. Wow, humility. Now, the past 2 weeks, the first one was on empathy. Last week, it was on inspiration. This week is on humility. And I'm getting full, family, of the spirit to really be motivated and inspired and encouraged to go to another level. It's all about challenging yourself first. First and foremost, the challenge is within. It's always personal. So I like to share with you uh, the dynamic title today or subject today on humility. Well, first, what is humility? Humility means a modest or low view of your own personal self or of your own importance. And that's what you call humbleness. In other words, it's freeing yourself from pride and arrogance. Whoa, freeing yourself, family, of pride and arrogance. In other words, it's not even about you, really. It's about you getting yourself together first, but the driving force is to make a difference to your people, the ones who look like you, in honoring our creator and our ancestors. So, family, in reference to when you talk about humility in reference to religion or spirituality, you're talking about humility, which means what God has to say about you, what God has to say about you, um, other than the opinion of someone else or even the opinion of yourself. So, and that's what you call uh, recognition of yourself in relations to God. It's always about your God image. How does God want you to present yourself? What image should you portray in the eyesight of God in relations to God? That's all that matters, family, because everybody has an opinion, and I like to be real with you with that because I'm representing the ancestors. So some people say, whoa, wow, wow, Sadiki. So I like to say this to you, that everybody is blessed with the right to have an opinion, just like God blessed everybody with not only opinion, but God blessed everybody with an asshole. But the wise man goes by what he knows, not his opinion. And that's why back in the day they say, stop being an asshole. Because what comes out of it, of that hole, and it all stinks. So it's not about the opinion, but it's about the reality of your relationship with how God wants you to be. And we should be using our glorious ancestors as a frame of reference. That's it, family. It's simple. Life is simplicity. But because we've been struggling and suffering for so long, we think everything's supposed to be that way. And when you present something that is very simple, they say, oh no, that's too easy. I can't believe that. So, family, life is simplicity. It's all about what does God, how does God want us to be? Everything should be in relations to God, not somebody else's opinion, not even your own opinion. So, family, humility, that's a heavy word. That's a heavy thing there, skill or virtue. Humility should elevate other people around you. Your humility should elevate other people around you before you even think about your own ego. Elevate. People love to be around humble people. But be careful because a lot of times people feel that humble people are soft people. They're easy prey, but they always misread. Humble people are godly people. They make you feel special. So let me share this with you then, since I'm there. Understand that humble people are real people. Let me say that again, family. Humble people are real people because, number one, they are situationally aware. They are always aware of the situation that presents itself. Always. Number two, they retain relationships. Have you ever seen people always mess up relationships? One thing about humble people, they retain relationships. Relationships is always at the top of their list, of their category, of their mindset. Because there's nothing that is more important than relationship or relationships. So that's number two. Number three is they make difficult decisions with ease. They make difficult decisions with ease. They don't be stumbling all over the place. They don't be, all emotionally imbalanced and so forth and so on. They decide with ease. Why? Because they're very practical. Have you ever been around people that always give you simple solutions to everything? While people all over the place, they just give it, they just simple. All you have to do is, or it's very simple. That kind of thing. So that's number three. They make difficult decisions with ease. Very practical. Number four, they put others first. They intentionally put others first. They want them to feel special. Number five, they listen. See, listening is a skill. Hearing is not a skill. Everybody hear, but everybody don't listen. Listening means to focus, to pinpoint, to hear more than the person is expressing, to feel more than the other person is feeling. In other words, you're putting yourself in their position. And that's why we used to have this term, hey, you feel me? We need to get that back because we're not feeling each other anymore. And I said that many times. We have to start feeling one another. The same energy so that we can be on the same page in the same path. So listening. The sixth one is the humble ones are curious people. They're curious ones. They ask questions. They're curious about things. They're not afraid to ask. Number seven, they speak their own minds. They're not afraid to speak their own minds, but they're always respectful. And number eight, last but not least that I can think of, is they take the time to say thank you. Have you ever been around people who feel entitled all the time? They don't have to say thank you. They feel they're doing you a favor just being there. That's a shame because a lot of people mess up a lot of good things, but yet they resent it and regret it later. And it starts eating them up from the inside out. That's how you have all this cancer and all of these diseases. That energy eats rot starts from the inside out, family, not from the outside in. And that's why everybody is more than the eye can see. So the more should be the better. So I gave you 8 characteristics of a humble person. And you can review this video and really get into it, family, and study it for yourself. You don't have to believe everything I say. Now that we know what a humble person is, that is a real person, let's talk about the ones that presents fake humility. How can you tell fake humility? Uh-oh. You ready? Okay, here we go. The ones who portray fake humility are the ones who deflect praise from the ones who deserve it. They try to soften it up, or they try to curve it somewhere else or take it somewhere else. They're always deflecting praise when it is due to the person. That's number one. Number two, they always be looking for compliments to bring attention to themselves. Have you ever seen those kind of people? They're always fishing for compliments to bring attention to themselves. Number three, family. Oh yeah, what comes to mind is humble bragging. I don't know if you ever heard that term before. But if you have, you know what I'm talking about. Humble bragging. What is humble bragging? Humble bragging is they always brag about themselves. You know, uh, humbly. You know, they're prideful people. They're always trying to bring about something about themselves. Uh, in a what we used to say braggadocious. Always about them. Humble bragging. They can't even get beyond themselves. That's why they're no good for a team. They're no good for the group effort. They're always individualistic. They can't get beyond themselves. Okay, that's number three. Number four is they falsely portray helplessness or no power. They falsely portray that. Why do they do that? To make you feel sorry for them. So they can soften you up and come in for the kill. Have you ever seen those kind of people, family? I'm telling you, false humility. And number five, what is number five? Self uh, deprecating humor. Self deprecating humor. What is it? They're always criticizing themselves with humor. Now, I'm sure you've seen those people too, criticizing themselves with humor. But guess what? Remove the humor and you be right on time about their criticism because that's the way they are. And they do that so that once you see their reality, they can kind of laugh it off. But no, don't laugh it off. You know, accept their reality. Because some people will tell you how they really are. They will show you how they really are. But it's not a laughing matter. So these are the five ways of acknowledging or being aware of a person that deals with false humility. Always highlighting themselves, taking praise away from other people, criticizing. You know, always fishing for compliments. You know, always giving this false betrayal of helplessness and no power. Oh, nobody won't help me. I need some help, and this and that. Those are the people that feel entitled, no matter how crazy they are. It's not a funny matter, family, but laughing is not always funny. It's a miracle that we can laugh, but most of the laughing is teasing one another, breaking each other down. We shouldn't be doing that because all of us been had by the same enemy. It's just that some of us are just more healed through our efforts. See, no efforts, no blessings. A little effort, a little blessings. Medium efforts, medium blessings. A lot of effort, a lot of blessings. So stop hating because you can step it up too. It's all according to your will. And your will is determined by what? Your will is determined by how important it is to you. That's personal, family. That's personal. I'm going to give it to you raw because I'm representing and honoring the ancestors who was always raw. They gave it to you like it is. So, family, be about humility. Be a humble person because a humble person, once again, is a real person. Humble people are real people. People don't like real people because it bothers them. What it does is it compels them to check themselves out, and they know that they should be doing better. That's why they always want to put you down. That's why they always want to deplete praise. the kind of pray when you deserve it. They want to deplete it. So I mean, they want to deflect it. So don't allow that to happen. Get away from those people. The energy is not right. That's bad energy. It's not a matter of who it is, but it's a matter of what it is. But who it is can make what it is worse, especially when you care about who it is. Those are ones that we need to be careful with. Because one thing about real people, they love hard and they love deep. And sometimes we be giving up too much with these people who are not interested in being winners. They love being losers because they want you to feel for them, but yet they want to brag about how hard they work and how hard they did this and how hard they did that. That's the same as the enemy. The only thing that he was hard about was that whip. We did all the hard stuff. But because we were property, we had no rights. So they claimed everything about us. And now they are the brains, they are the smartest ones, they are the brilliant ones, and they're the most spiritual ones, and they the most civilized ones. No, they got that from us. Everything that is divine, they got it from us. Everything that is devilish, they created it. That's why you have opposites, family. There's opposites to everything. Everything. So, humble people, let's get back to the humble people. Humble people, they handle stress uh, easier. They handle it more effectively. Humble people handle stress more effectively. And they do. And they report higher physical and mental well-being. They report that. You can see it. They're more physical and more mental well-being. They always stay at a certain level. And not only that, they are more generous and they are more grateful. Now, those are the people who make excellent partners. They're a candidate for great relationships. They are more generous and more grateful, have more gratitude. But these are the ones that people try to play. And a lot of times, just because you don't say nothing don't mean you don't know. Sometimes you give people an opportunity to correct themselves before they wreck themselves. That's what benefit of the doubt is. That's why God gives us grace and mercy. And those are nothing but benefit of the doubts to give us an opportunity once again to correct ourselves before we wreck ourselves. And keep in mind that all damage is not repairable. Have you ever seen people that constantly suffers because they refuse to make the adjustment and want somebody to feel for them? They're the ones with this false portrayal of helplessness. Oh, woe is me, and all of this. No, don't feel sorry for them. Just step out of the way and let God do His work. That's right. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. Remember what Jesus said, try, 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 and try. You don't see no improvement, turn around, dust your feet off, and walk away. Real people draw lines and never go below that line. As a matter of fact, the more you grow and transform, the more you are up the line. You raise the bar and never go below that line or you are endangering yourself. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold, family. In other words, you got to put your breastplate on to guard your heart. And not only that, a lot of times you got to put the whole armor of God on and tighten it up. In other words, you might feel it, but it won't penetrate. Isn't that wonderful? To know the truth about life. We've been lied to for so long. Lied to. A real leader. Let me say this to you, family. A real leader recognizes and accepts his reality or her reality. They recognize it and they accept their reality. So, and they accept it through open-minded, listen family, they accept it with open-mindedness to truth. They always use truth as their measuring tool. That's why real leaders or humble leaders always acknowledge and recognize their levels, their reality. They'll never mislead you. They'll never lie to you. They'll never misdirect you. Because no one knows it all. And if you're a wise person, you can learn from anything and anybody. And guess what? The more you know, you'll find out the more there is to know. Wow. And knowing a lot can be kind of painful. Because first of all, you see more, you hear more, you know more, you experience more. Man, that can be a lonely road. But guess what? I'd rather know than not to know. And sooner or later, our Creator will allow you to cross paths with those who are like-minded. Oh yeah, that's what you call the crossroad. At the crossroad, you will meet yourself. Because it's all about the spirit, it's all about the energy, it's all about the frequency. Sooner or later, you will meet yourself. But you got to hold on. Can you keep on moving while the storm's going on? That's the challenge, family. Everybody gets some of that. Life is full of challenges. Well, but most people want to feel that their challenge is greater than everybody else's. Hey, catching hell is catching hell. All fire burns. We always say, oh, you need to walk in my shoes. And I say, man, you don't even have no shoes. How can I walk in them? You faking the funk. As we used to say, you faking the funk, man. Be real. Be true to thyself. Make it real and keep it real. That's the challenge in the midst of catching all this hell in this world. Can you find a way to rise above it like the eagle? Because in reality, we are the eagles. And we are the eagles getting stuck in a chicken coop, clucking and plucking when we should be flying high. And these schools represent the chicken coop. These jobs, going to these religious buildings where the leaders, so-called leaders, lying to you. They just straight out lying. It is what it is, family. That's why it says study to show your self-approval. But they got us so busy surviving, most of us don't take the time to study. So what do? Just go along with the program. And what that really is we stay stuck in the first grade from the cradle to the grave. No wonder we're so frustrated. No wonder we're so sickly and all diseased up and all rebellious. Mind your business. No, my business is each other. So humble people continue to tell the truth. It's up to the other person to embrace it or not. Even though rejection is not comfortable, know that that's possible. And humble people are never surprised. You can never catch them off guard because the universe will always warn you ahead of time, during the time, and after the time. Oh, yeah. Their foundation will never fall. But most people build it on quicksand. All this beautiful structure, but it doesn't last. And that's why people are so frustrated and so angry. And they give up and give in because of their track record of being so rebellious they won't make the adjustment. Now they're mad at everybody else who got a solid foundation and that are blessed. So understand that, family, the difference between a humble person or humble people who are real people compared to fake or humble people. And we got a lot of fakers out here. Too many. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. There's many called, but few are chosen. You got to qualify yourself, family. We understand that when it comes to the system, we got to qualify ourselves to go to school and graduate. We got to qualify ourselves to go on these jobs, begging. We got to qualify ourselves for this religion, which is nothing but white nationalism. Everything is white. White is right. Black, get back. And let me remind you once again, the only thing that can exist without light is black or darkness. Because out of the darkness comes the light and everything else. So how can black be a color? Black is all that. And that's what we came from. That's who we are. Light does not function without darkness because it has nothing to reflect on or off of. But darkness can exist, which is the only thing that can exist without light. Remember that, family. Words to the wise. So let's get back to humility. Now, what comes to mind now? How do you teach humility to a child? Uh-oh. First and foremost, we must know what a child is. Get rid of that word kid. There's other folks, they always want to label you as an animal. Hey, what's up, dog? Hey, we got kids and all this old kind of stuff. Get rid of that mess. We are children. The individual is a child, not an animal. They started that stuff in the 80s, a kid. When I first heard it, I said, wait a minute, isn't the kid a baby goat? They said, yeah, well, why are you calling your children kids? Because we have assimilated to this system of the ones who worship animals, who have the animalistic mentality. The dog is a man's best friend. Are you for real? Family, don't go for that. The dog is a man's best friend. Wow. Unbelievable. No wonder they had the dog at the table eating with them, sleeping in the beds with them, rubbing all on them and having this with them and having that with them. That's true. Don't forget, family, our hair. Our hair is wool. Straight hair is what the animals have. Straight hair. It's the gorilla and all of them, straight hair. That's why when you shave the hair off, their skin is white. So who's really the gorilla? The thin lips. So if you want to tell the truth, let's tell the truth. Study Dr. Edward W. Robinson's philosophy on who we are compared to who they are. Family, we got to tell the truth no matter how much it hurts. Where all enemies is not bad, where we don't have uh, we don't have the privileges or whatever to find out who's who and what's what. A snake is a snake, and just because it's not biting now don't mean it's not a snake. It's just a matter of time. Stick around. That's why we got to keep it moving so the stuff behind us won't catch up. But first of all, you got to know where you come from so that you know where you are. And if you know where you are, then you know where you're going. But unfortunately, we don't know none of that. We faking the funk. So I'm giving you all of these things to humble yourself, to be more grateful, and to be more humble and grateful. That's when you are in relations to God now, and not somebody else's opinion. So family, let's get back to this again. How do you teach a child to be humble? Now, understand that a child is not an age. A child is a mentality because we have a lot of old children. A child is a mentality, not an age. And guess what? All children are foolish. So don't be surprised. Everything is mine. So the first thing of how you can make a child or how you can teach humility to a child is number one, be the best model you can be. We don't have enough models because some of our children, young children, want to do right, but they don't have enough models. Number two, always build them up. Be the best model. Build them up. Those are the first two things, family. The third thing is encourage them and help them to be better people. Encourage them and help them. Never criticize them. Never humiliate them. You ain't gonna never be nothing. You just like your father and all this and all of that. Wow. I'm sure that we heard some of that. I'm just being real. We got to stop that. And then when they turn out to be what they're not supposed to be, now you want to take it out on them. You want to blame them now. No, we have to be the best examples, and we have to build them, and we have to encourage them and teach them how to be better and do better and think better. And number four, make sure that you teach them where we got our best values from. Who do we get our best values from? Our ancestors. Always have them to keep the connection with the spiritual ancestors because we are the physical ancestors having the human experience. So family, expose them to our real teachers, our great teachers. Expose them to our great teachers. Back in Egypt, Imhotep, Nzinga, Amenra, Akhenaten, King Tut. How about today? Nat Turner, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Messiah Garvey, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, Thurgood Marshall. And those kind of people, Malcolm X. So family, We have to expose them to our great people, our great thinkers, our humble leaders who's not scared, who's not afraid. And also, family, teach them to serve. It's always better to give because giving is a principle. Giving causes the universe to give to you 100-fold. But how many of us believe that? Because regular people feel that giving is losing. Well, I ain't gonna give him out. He might have more than me. So what? It's not about the things. It's about your mind. Because your mind can produce and create anything that you put your mind to. That's why they say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Everything that exists came from the mind. So let's just be. Stop praying so much and be a prayer. God don't need our prayers. Prayers is for the individual to keep the connection. God is God. So family, we had a lot of different falls. Read the book of Genesis in the scripture and all the books, the holy books. And it is show us that we had many falls, and here we are now, catching nothing but pure hell, blaming each other. We got to stop using each other as a scapegoat because all of us been had. We got in this mess together and let's come out together. So I gave you a lot to develop your humility, to be a humble person, to be a grateful person, to be a person of generosity, a giver, and we can't afford not to give. So family, again, humility leads to what? I can think of 4 things that humility can lead to. The first one is riches. Not always things, but rich in thinking, in your vision, in your efforts. So riches. Number 2, freedom. Freedom from the bull crap. Freedom from the traps of this world. From these false teachers who getting you all emotional, but they ain't teaching you nothing. All they want to do is to get you emotional. And we pretending that we are better because I feel better. No, feelings come and go like the weather. Let's know something, family. Don't let them school you. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them treat you like you're a child. But man up, woman up, mind up, own up. So family, I said um, humility leads to riches, freedom, honor, and a long life. Whoo! Have mercy. That's what I want. And it's one thing you can't fool energy. So you got to be about being real and learning about truth. Because if there's nothing new under the sun, some of us got some answers. The truth never changes. It only keeps going. History doesn't change. History just continues. We are history. But when you don't know your history, it becomes a mystery. You miss the story. And that's why you're so confused. But I'm here to give it to you. And learning can be painful, but it's all good. So family, let me give you some synonyms quickly on humility. The first one is shyness, abasement, basefulness, lowliness, meek, a lack of pride, and obedience. There's just a few of them. Now, antonyms is the opposite. Okay, boldness, arrogant, prideful, um, self-important, importance, egoism. Now, now that you know the difference, which one are you? Uh-oh. Now you got to be real. Now you got to face yourself. Tell the truth, family. Which one are you? In conclusion, family, being humble is not an easy thing. But being humble is to free yourself. Remember that. Being humble is to free yourself from this world. Also, humility makes people better learners and better thinkers. Clock that in, family. People who are humble are better thinkers and better learners. You better believe it. And last but not least, family, sometimes you have to submit yourself to those who know more and understand more. There's nothing wrong with that. Why would you want people who are always around you who know less? How can you elevate? So put yourself around people who know more and understand more. That's how you learn. It's all energy. It's all frequency. We gotta step it up, family. We're losing our future, our children, and we keep blaming them. I can't say that enough. But humility, family, is what is going to free us. And it will free you. Free yourself indeed, family. So I pray that you got something out of this, family, because listening to myself, I'm still learning too. I'm reminding myself at the same time. So it's all good. So free your mind from the crap, and all crap stinks. Truly. So, family, I love you. I bless you, and I want you to prosper. Do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. But you have to have a sharp discerning spirit to know the difference so you won't be using emotions. Stay strong and keep your faith where it belongs. Life is for the living. Let the dead bury the dead. Some people are on a suicide mission. Sometimes we just got to let them go. Let go and let God. Sometimes we give it to God and go back and take it from them. That's the worst thing you can do. Now God gonna use that same person to whip your behind. Because God said, I'm a jealous God, there be no others before me. We need to remember that. Also, keep your head towards the universe where all strength comes from, and never give up and never ever give in, no matter how things seem, because everything is, always was, and always will be in divine order. God don't make no mistakes, but we do. But when you learning from your mistakes, it's all good. And learning can be painful. But when you get to the other side, you can't beat the blessings. No pain, no gain. Remember that? How many believe that? Family, right thinking, right giving, and right eating. The pyramid is holistic living with the eye of the creator in the middle of the pyramid. That's holistic. Stop putting death in your stomach, faking yourself to believe that you get nutrients. Dead can only produce dead. Let's eat live food, things that grow, things that has energy, enzymes, that promotes health, energy, longevity. Family, happy new life, happy new you, and happy new journey. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye, your servant. Thank you for your time and your effort. And I have faith that you will show more love with respect for yourself. Take care and bless yourself. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye once again. Nothing but love, respect, hotep, peace, and baraka.